Right now, Lewis is streaming, and as a result of that, I felt like I might just wanted to share some thoughts before I go off to sleep. One moment. You guys can see this is such an imperfect stream. Is that better? Yeah, I think it's better. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. One of my big regrets in life, and I don't have too many regrets in life, but one of my big regrets in life is that I didn't invest earlier. I invested into the stock market around December 2017, and I felt like such an idiot because I knew people were investing around like 2004, people that I knew. And I thought to myself, man, if I had invested back in 2004 in the stocks that I invested now, I could have made an absolute killing. For for a while, I felt so guilty and I felt like such an idiot because I thought to myself, why didn't I do that? And that inaction, right, cost me time. And I do believe in, compounding, and I do believe also in racking up gains as well. Now, I've spoken about it before, but one of the things that I think that really will differentiate people in terms of financial status is if they invest or not. Because the fact is that everybody likes to think that they're going to be successful in life, they're going to be making big money. But not everybody in the world's going to be able to be an executive, a really successful business owner, a CEO, um, like the top, like a really high earning wage earner. A number of people would just probably make minimum wage or close to minimum wage. And I'm sharing this because when I look back at the people that I know, right, the people that who have like average income, we're talking like less than $50,000 a year. Some of these people, I find that they've been investing for quite some time. And as a result of that, because they've been investing since, let's say, the 90s or so, or even before that, although they don't make that much money, they have a bunch of money saved up because I think for a good chunk of them, when you invest money, you realize that you need to make money to invest it. You see, so let's say, for instance, you make $15 an hour. You want to invest. You won't be able to invest unless you have money to invest. So it conditions you to kind of think about either making more money or ideally, which is the easier route, is to save money. And I hope, hold on, I gotta charge this freaking phone. Okay. Yeah, this should avoid it. Yeah, see, I could have charged my phone earlier, but I didn't. But now I have it charged. And I'm gonna have it charged overnight as well. It's funny because I have a 6 foot long cable over here, and yesterday I forgot to charge my phone while I was sleeping. Today I did, and this cable is way more capable to reach the other side of the bed with a 6 foot long cable. Yeah, I am. I have a handsome man next to me. Here, I call him my handsome. So, yeah, I'm underneath the blanket right now, and I'm doing the most comfortable stream, which is lying in bed with a handsome cat next to me. Oh, hello, handsome. Um, I'm just talking about this kind of stuff because I know, right? I know that there are people who listen to my stream and think to themselves, and they say, "Oh, Erica, you're just talking about this stuff because um, you have a lot of money, or oh, you're just talking about this stuff because you made a lot of money." And the fact is like a big chunk of my what I have is because of my investment gains, and I'm very very grateful to it. When I was working, I saved my money a lot, And I had my money sitting in a bank account for a while because I didn't, it's like I didn't have anything really to spend it on. Like, yes, I was eating things, but I've never been like a super lavish person. You guys can kind of like pick that up, right? And I'm sharing this because like when I was saving my money, it's like when I saw it in the bank account, I realized like I'm getting like 0.003%. It's pitiful, right? And people, they think like old fashioned people, right? Or people who are not aware, they might say, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna work, maybe make, let's just give an example, make minimum wage, and then maybe my expenses are low, so I'll keep saving that money and I'll just save. But the problem is that let's say you make $40,000 a year. You save, let's say, $20,000 a year. After 5 years, you'll save $100,000. And you might think, like, wow, I'm really, I'm so rich. I have $100,000 after 5 years. But if you invest some of that money, and I say invest wisely, I heavily believe in diversification. That 100,000 might grow up to 200,000 or 300,000 or 500,000. You see? But sometimes people think, right? If they don't invest, they say, okay, well, I work 5 years and I saved my money and I have 100,000. But without investing, you're kind of limited by whatever your boss or whatever you earn. And I don't like that. I don't like the fact that people they just kind of think like, oh, okay, well, I make $40,000 a year and that's it. Like, I'm gonna struggle. I'm not gonna be make saving that much money as I can because I only make $40,000. And sometimes I see people how they get this defeatist attitude where they just say, I'm never gonna be rich because I only make $40,000 a year. So sometimes people get very defeatist and then they say, you know what, if I'm only going to make $45,000 a year for the rest of my life, I might as well spend it on myself. And then I see people and then they make a lot of money and they blow it all on stupid stuff, and then they don't budget, and sometimes people get into debt. Or they can say like, oh, look at me, I bought all this stuff, or look at me, I spent all this money. After a while, it catches up. And no longer are they happy because they're now in debt, or they don't have as much money as they thought they did, right? Like they worked so hard for their money, and it's just gone. Like, so let's say they had a really good job and then they lost their job, and then they look back at it and they're like, shit, I only got like $3,000 in my bank account. That kind of stuff. It's not because they had a lot of expenses, like mortgages or anything like that. It was because they were spending their money left and right on, let's say, drinking, let's say, going out, eating dinners, that kind of thing. Spending it on, let's say, just things, right? And people don't realize it. I've seen people fall into that kind of trap, and I hope for you guys, right? I hope by sharing this kind of stuff, like even if you only make, let's say, $30,000 a year, right? Whatever you can, I would say start making a habit to save your money. And if you can put aside like it's even something like $20 a month or $50 a month or $100 a month, whatever you can, right? Put an auto invest in. I personally use, like, for me, for my auto investments, you can use things like Robinhood, you can use things like M1 Finance. And if you have an auto invest, as long as you have at least, let's say, more than, let's say if your auto invest is $50, right, a month. As long as you have more than considerably more than $50 in your bank account, you don't have to worry about it. So for instance, let's say you're bringing home, I don't know how much, like $800 a week, right? And then at the end of the month, you're bringing home, oh wait, that's more than that. Let's just say like at the end of the month you have $500 left over. But then you put, you always know, right? You know your expenses, you do you do money management. You know how much you're spending, right? You do budgeting. That's the word. Let's say every month you know you have an excess of $500. If you know, right, because you're working, you have at least $50 that you can dedicate to investments. If you have an auto invest on, like it's idiot proof, then you know, like, okay, well, I always keep track of my money. I know what I'm buying, and I'll set up like a $50 auto invest for certain stock. It could be a stock, it could be ETF. But let's say you decide, and this is not financial advice, I'm just going to give an example, right? Let's say you decide to invest $50 in Apple every month. So that means in 1 year, 50 times 12, that's $600, right? That's $600 a year in Apple. And if you live, you're around for, let's say, 5 years, that means in 5 years you invest $3,000 in Apple. That's not, it sounds like a lot of money to some people, but it's really not, because I see people, they manage to scrimp and save for all this stupid stuff. So I don't think, putting $50 away for an investment is that much money. I think sometimes people, they just don't want to budget for whatever reason. And I think that if people don't start investing, or people don't do an auto investors are wonderful. They're like idiot proof, right? As long as you don't turn it off, it's going to keep going and going and going. You don't have to remind yourself. Like, you can set an auto invest to take out money. Let's say you get paid on the 14th of every month. You can have an auto invest take out on the 16th of every month. So as long as you just, have money in your bank account for the rest of your life, or until your bank account is closed, you'll always withdraw, let's say, $50 on the 16th every month, or every 2 weeks, or every week, or however you set it up. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is just make sure you have money in that account. And as long as you know you have money in that account, you'll be fine. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So I've been setting up auto invest. I did think two last month, and they've been gaining. And I know people would say, "Oh, well, you just got lucky this month." Well, I've been holding on to those stocks for over a year. Some of them for a couple years, and I feel comfortable enough to invest more money. And I thought, okay, well, let me keep slowly investing every single month into these stocks. And then today I added one more. Tomorrow I think I'm going to be adding in another one as well. And I could, taking it back, right? I could beat myself up about, why didn't I invest back in like 2004 or 2003? How come I could be such a freaking idiot? How come I didn't think about, what other people were doing? Why was I so naive? I can blame myself all day, all night about why I didn't invest 17 years ago. But the fact is I can't take that time back. The only thing I can do is try to be better in the future. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys, right? I believe that if I start this auto invest, in 17 years from now, I'm going to look back and say, man, I'm happy I did this auto invest. I'm grateful that I did it. And let's say I have a child. I will learn from my mistakes. And I've told you guys, right? If I had a child, I would set my child up with a portfolio. The day they are born, they're already going to have a portfolio, because I'm going to give them some of what I have. And I want to instill in my child, I'll say, hey, look, kiddo, you are, let's say, 5 years old. You got $10. If you put aside, right, if you're getting in $10 of allowance every month, right, and you put aside $1 every month, right? What are you saving? Okay, you're saving $12 a year. What if instead of, if you save your $12, maybe it turns into $13. Maybe it'll turn into $15. Maybe it'll even turn into $24, right? Who knows, right? But you won't know unless you invest. And I don't want to say investing like you're only going to gain, okay? Because you can lose money. I've known people who've lost money in their stock account. I've known people who've gained money in the stock account. But if you're diversified, I feel like, and you do your research, right? You feel comfortable in whatever you're investing in. I feel like you don't have that much to lose, especially if you're dollar cost averaging. So yeah, I'm doing a little auto invest. I don't think that these companies are going to tank. anytime soon. And if they do go obsolete, I will be genuinely surprised. But we'll see. We will see, kind of thing. So let me. So yeah, just think about doing an auto invest. The various companies have them. I know Robinhood and M1 Finance has it. And if you can, try to auto invest your dividends, because I, for me, my Robinhood account, I had it for a long time. I don't even know how to reinvest dividends without doing an auto invest. But let's say I was accumulating dividends, right? And I wasn't buying new stock with it because I didn't know how to set it up. I don't think I could do it. So with my auto invest, the way I have it set up is to pull from my dividends, and then when my dividends run out, then it goes from my bank account. You see, so that way, let's say I get dividends every couple months, and let's say the dividend is $2. If I have an auto invest, it's gonna pull from that $2 first, and then whatever the difference is between whatever my auto invest and the $2, then it pulls out from one of my bank accounts. And that's the way to do it. You don't want to be checking accounts and then you say like, oh crap, I have like X amount of dividends, right? Let's just say, right? Let's say you have like $30 in dividends, or let's say $300 in dividends. You don't want to be like, oh my goodness, I just have this cash sitting around. I've had this account for 5 years. I have $300 in dividends. Shit, I gotta buy something with it, right? Because like I said, I'm not very good at remembering things every month. So having an auto invest works in my favor. It makes me look like I'm really responsible and I'm really on it, but truly it's just a system in place kind of thing. So I suggest you guys do that kind of thing too. Yeah, some people holy hand grenades, people think to themselves like, "Oh, I'm not Warren Buffett. Oh, it's so hard." And here these people are, they're signing up for credit cards, they're signing up for gym memberships, and I know that sounds so disparaging here, but if you can fill out a credit card or a gym membership, you can definitely sign up for a stock account as well. You know what you can do, Johnny? Like, you see the way I eat? It's mostly freaking salads. Okay, you just go to the grocery store, you buy some salad, you make some grilled chicken. You guys have seen me do my air fryer streams. And once you do that, right, it's like you don't really have to cook. I don't make rice, I don't saute things a lot. I just use the air fryer. I think that, if you or you can make sandwiches. I'm not a big fan of sandwiches. I don't think sandwiches are too healthy. But if you eat like salad, that does require cooking. You just need refrigeration. Salad dressing, some spices, tomatoes, that's it. Or a portable stove, right? They got those induction burners. I have a phone app, so I have I use things like Robinhood, for example. Yeah, so some people, they buy like the S&P. Other people, they just, they focus on ETFs. And but whatever you guys do, right? Please do not do anything stupid like buy, in my opinion, a penny stock. Because you got some people who are like, I saw the stock and it's like it's like 50 cents. Just imagine if it went to $1, you'll be rich. You'll make double your money, okay? Nobody talks about a lot of these freaking 50-cent stocks. I hate a lot of penny stocks for a reason, because it's like I see people on stock Twitch trying to pump and dump this kind of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's so cheap, it's only 75 cents." I'm like, I've never heard of this. Why would I want to put my money into this 75-cent stock? I've never heard about it. You guys are posting on stock Twitch trying to get people to get the volume so the price goes up, and then when the price goes up, you're going to offload this stuff. I feel so much more comfortable investing in a big company than no name 75-cent stock. Yeah, but like people like try to get on it, and then what's worse is like people think like, oh yeah. Okay, so if it goes up 75 cent, if it's 75 cents, and then it goes up to like 83 cents, oh my gosh, I mean like 10%, 10% gains. All it has to do to go to 83 cents, and it's like, who's gonna buy the damn stock if nobody knows it? Oh my gosh, I hate penny stocks so much. I think they're ultimate scam. And the worst thing is like when people buy penny stocks and then they get scammed by it, then they're like, oh yeah, see, I can't invest in the stock market anymore because I invested like, $5,000 into this penny stock and I was so sure it was gonna grow. And then I lost money because nobody else bought it and I couldn't hold because then it dropped 10% and I was trying to get buyers, but nobody wanted to buy it. Like I lost money. I'm not meant for the stock. It's like, dude. Like, so you bought all this, put all this money in this freaking penny stock, and you just hoped and prayed this penny stock would break out, kind of thing. Again, I'm sure some people made lots of money off penny stocks, but I don't want to turn on the news and say like, okay, so this no-name penny stock that maybe what I feel like a couple thousand people in the world knows about. Yeah, I'm not banking on that penny stock like exploding. Um, because there's just so much of that crap over there. So like I said, not financial advice, but go with a bigger company. Go with a large ETF. Go with something that people know about, not no name 25 cent or 15 cent penny stock kind of stuff. Sucks. Let's see. Only bread and hummus like 3 times a week. You know what? All the money. Okay. You know what you should be eating, Johnny Chang? Go to the store, buy a tub. Go to Costco, buy a tub of organic salad mix. You guys have seen me, what I buy. I've showed you my grocery hauls in the community post. Buy that, wash the cherry tomatoes, put in a little container. You will save so much money. Okay, the pizza and the Chinese takeout and the hummus and the bread, I guarantee you all those carbs will eventually catch up on you. I don't know if you have a weight problem or sodium problem, but from what I notice in myself and the people that I know, if they eat heavy on carbs, they start looking padded. That's the reason why you see me basically eat salad and chicken and chia seed pudding all day. Like that's mostly what I eat. Today I went to Potbelly and I got chili. It's basically a bowl of chili, which is beans, uh, beef, and I had some oyster crackers, like a small package of it. But you can see the carb count is low. But even then, I rarely eat chili. I rarely eat out. But yeah, I would say like lower the freaking carbs. That's just my opinion though. I'm not big on carbs. Um, the easiest way to lose weight, in my opinion, is cutting your carbs. Just cut the freaking carbs. The carbs don't have that much nutrition, I find. It's just a filler food. It's like when you go and eat sushi, right? Are you getting a lot of nutrition from the rice? No, you're getting the nutrition from the vegetables or the raw fish or the toppings, as they like to call it. Yeah. See, look up Johnny. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm not a nutritionist, but seriously, look up keto diet. I don't follow keto closely. I mean, like, I don't follow it to a T. I just try to keep my carbs low. I don't do any of this whole carb counting. I just try to avoid it as much as I can. But, like today, I saw like a brownie in one of the cupboards, and I ate the brownie. But I didn't feel any guilt for it because I was like, what did I start my day off with? Chia seed pudding. What did I have for lunch? A beef chili. What did I have for dinner? Salad and chicken. Like, yeah, I don't watch my carbs a lot. It's just like I have everything as a routine. And I guarantee you, Johnny, if you cut down your carbohydrates, if you start eating salad and chicken, and just follow the keto, the weight will fall off. Like my family members, for instance, that I know, some of them lost a good amount of weight. And I asked them, how did you lose the weight? How do you always look so fit or so trim? And they say, I don't really exercise, Erica. I just cut my carbs. There he is. There's Hansen. You see him? He's sleeping. I get his little paw. And yeah, so this is my little talk at night kind of thing with Oreo over here. Chicken, shrimp, and fish fillets. Yeah, I don't eat too much beef. I like pork belly. I think pork belly. Oh, and here's the other thing. Like, I don't fear fats. I'm not scared of fatty beef. I'm not scared of pork belly. In fact, I believe fat keeps you much fuller longer than bread. Like, if I eat a waffle for breakfast, it's not gonna kill. It's not gonna fill me up very much. But if I eat like bacon for breakfast, bacon and eggs, it'll fill me up a lot longer than any cereal, any waffle. It's surprising. Like if you see me eat breakfast, if I'm eating, let's say, bacon and eggs, you'll realize like I really don't eat that much. It looks like I'm under eating, but truly after I finish my breakfast, I'm full. And I would not recommend like bacon in terms of like the ones with the nitrates. You're supposed to go nitrate free. But yeah, shellfish is healthy. I think oysters are healthy. Mussels are healthy. But yeah, I mostly follow the keto diet. Mostly. And what else? Like Dr. Eric Berg. If you look on him on YouTube, I follow a lot of his stuff. He kind of just basically advocates for salads, healthy fats, and things like that. You know, avocado, um, things like yeah. I stay away from a lot of vegetable oils in terms of like, the cheap vegetable oils or canola oil. I stay away from that. I mostly eat like what kind of oils do I have? Coconut oil, avocado seed oil. I don't really cook too much with butter anymore because I'm trying to cut down the dairy. Trying to see if that has an effect on my skin. And what else? Lard. If I have like bacon and I get bacon grease, which I seldomly eat bacon, but if I do, I'll save the pork fat and then I'll cook eggs with that. Yeah, so you can kind of see I'm the person that if I make pork belly or if I make bacon, I'll save the bacon lard, and then I'll use that as cooking oil if I decide to saute vegetables, and I haven't sauteed anything in pork fat in quite some time because I haven't been eating bacon, but if I do, like some people they like using like George Foreman grill and then how it like drains out the grease, yeah, I'll save that and then I'll cook with that, and it's quite nice. Um, so that was off on a tangent, but that's the kind of stuff that works for me, and I feel satisfied with it. You guys might not think I feel satisfied with it if you look at it, but honestly, if you don't eat too much processed foods, if you don't eat too much sugary foods, your taste buds adjust, and then you find out like a lot of stuff that you thought was really tasty. It ends up being too salty, too sweet. And you instead of eating like a lot of it, you just have like a little piece, and you think it's fine. Like I used to eat full size candy bars before, and now you guys know I eat the fun size ones. Yeah. What about food supplements? Yeah, I take supplements. I take things like spirulina. I take things like zinc, vitamin D3. Sometimes I take grass-fed beef liver. That's a supplement. That one's pretty freaking pricey. It's like $38 a bottle. Um, what else do I take? I used to take antixanthin, but that's been out of stock for a while on Amazon. I don't know why. And oh, I've been taking kelp because I realized like when I cook, I don't add salt to my diet. And I think I was getting iodine deficient because my salt that I was using actually didn't have iodine. So I had a theory, and I'm testing it right now, that some of my skin issues might have actually started flaring up because if I'm not eating processed food and if I'm not salting my food with iodine, I'm slowly becoming deficient, and you need to have iodine. It's essential nutrient. Yeah, so yeah, cutting carbs, like cutting down the pizza, cutting down the sandwiches, all that stuff is really good. And if you want to, like, if you're out at a burger place and you want to cut your carbs in half, only eat like take off the top bun of a sandwich. So you know how like sandwiches have like the top and the bottom. Take the top part off, the top bun off, and just eat it like a tostada or something. That works well. Or if I'm at a place and I'll order a burger and then I'll just eat the beef or the cheese and the vegetables and I'll just leave the bread behind. It's not that weird because you know people go on low carb. If I do want to have a piece of bread, then I'll just take a bite or two. But a lot of the times, like I don't expect to, you know, I don't want to go to a restaurant and order like steak because steak is so expensive. So I'll normally get like a burger, an all beef burger, and then just eat the beef and the like the lettuce and tomato with a fork and knife, and just eat it that way. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't elicit any looks or anything like that. It just kind of looks like you're avoiding the bread. And now I think there's a good chunk of people who are on the keto diet or going low carb. I don't, like I said, I think I'm in keto, but because I'm low carb, but I don't like identifying as keto. Because like, what if I'm out, what if I'm not in ketosis, right? So I'll just say I aim to be low carb, keto slash low carb, something like that. Keto, you have a certain, I think it's like 50 grams of carbs a day, and less than 50 grams of carbs a day, and then you're considered in ketosis. But yeah, I just try to avoid the carbs as much as I can. If you guys do see me eat carbs, it's usually just like a donut, cookie, a brownie, that kind of stuff. Yeah, soy sauce is fine. I usually season with Celtic sea salt or Himalayan sea salt. So that's easy. You know, it's really, I hate to say it, but it's like once you cut your carbs, it's you kind of look back and you're like, why the hell did I eat so many carbs before? Why did I eat crackers before? Why was I buying so much bread before? And yeah, grocery shopping definitely becomes easier and simpler. Instead of buying all these cakes and pastries or so, you're like, okay, I just treat it like a treat. I was looking up nutrition, I go down these rabbit holes, and I found out, you know, as time has gone on, Americans consume more and more sugar. And yeah, I think that's contributing to our obesity epidemic. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about stocks and then I went off into carbs. Total Erica stream. Yeah, so, you know, think about doing things gradually, okay? Like, I'm not saying, Johnny, cut all your carbs tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, eat more salad and then slowly transition yourself to cutting down your carbs. And if you find that you're unhappy with your weight or how you look, progressively work at it. You know, I've been doing that with decluttering, as you guys know. I've been doing that with my own self. I didn't eat the way I'm eating now in like overnight, right? It's been slowly building upon things. But I hope that you guys benefit from the stuff that I share. You know, I don't share this just so I'm talking to myself, but I kind of hope that by sharing this kind of stuff, maybe you guys kind of think about maybe like cutting down your carbs or setting an auto invest. And I don't want you guys to kind of like look back at your life and say, man, I should have invested in something, right? And but then you always say like, oh, I'm not timing it right. I'm not timing it right. Oh, the stock market. Oh, it was really good like a couple months ago. It was good for the last 2 years, but now it's down. Because you got to figure, right? Like when we had the shutdown, a lot of people they said they didn't want to get into the stock market because they said, oh, the economy is ruined forever. And some people they pulled their money out of the stock market, and they said they would never go back in the stock market when the stock market tanked. But the fact is that the stock market recovered and then some, right? Look at the stock market. Look at the S&P now, and the people who pulled all their money out the stock market, they feel like total idiots. You know, I feel like a total idiot for selling some of my holdings because I questioned if it could, if I questioned the longevity of certain industries because of the shutdown. And I feel like such an idiot because it's like if I had stayed, I would have gained like 30, 50, 70%. And yeah, I just had, I just did not feel comfortable. Thankfully, you know, a huge majority of my portfolio I kept and then I reinvested into other stuff. So, but yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, I avoid corn syrup as well. But yeah, like if you do the dollar cost averaging, you do the auto invest, you never have to worry about timing. You don't have to look on the, you don't have to look at the freaking news and then say, oh, okay, stock market crashed this year. Oh, it's a big crash. Now I gotta go in, right? Because I'm that kind of person. I'm not watching the news every day. If they have a bad market day, I'm not paying attention to it all the time. But yeah, if the stock market has a bad month or bad 2 months or bad 3 months, if you have an auto invest, it's like, okay, if it dips down, it'll bring down the average of whatever money you're putting into your stocks. See? So I'm not planning to ever turn down off my auto invest. I might reduce the amount in the future, but I don't plan on turning it off because I I think that this way of investing is a lot more sustainable, and it's idiot proof. You just gotta make sure you have enough money in your bank account. And yeah, I recommend you guys do that. The earlier you start, of course, is the better. And I hope by doing this auto invest in 20, 30 years, I'll look back and I'll say, dang, that really paid off. And you guys know, right? If I had a child, I hope that what I've learned and all my little regrets I've had with investing in terms of not doing it sooner, I hope my kid is doesn't have to, feel that same kind of regret I do. And I hope that if I have a child and when that kid turns 18, they can look at their portfolio and say, damn, I'm better than a lot of kids my age that I know because there were investments that were done early on and there's still continuing to be investments. I will be very proud of my child if my child gets a job and then says, Mom, I'm going to invest my money, auto invest it into some stocks that I believe in. And even if I change the stocks, I'm never going to stop investing. I'm never going to stop investing in my future. I want my kid to be successful in life. Um, I want my kid to have a good start, and I think that's what all parents want for their child. And I hope that by realizing the error in my ways and trying to correct it in the future, that my child, kind of, kind of has a much better, much brighter financial future than I had, when I was 18. And yeah. So, what I mean is that auto invest, like, let's say, for instance, have, let's say, invest in Apple, right? And let's say you can, you get your paycheck, you save your money, and then you say, okay, I feel comfortable. I don't feel too comfortable investing everything, but I feel comfortable investing $100 a month. That means every month, let's say on the 16th of every month, right? Let's say you get paid on the 14th, so you pull on the 16th. Every month on the 16th, $100 will come out from your bank account, and then get that amount will be used to buy $100 of Apple because you can buy fractional shares. You don't have to buy a full share of Apple. Let's say like right now the full share of Apple is $160. If you buy $100 of it, you'll get what? More than half, maybe 60, like point 6, point 7 of a share. So in 2 months, right, you'll have one share because let's say you're putting in $100, $100 this month, $100 next month. The share next month, let's say, is 165. So boom, in 2 months you already got one share of the stock, and that's the way to go. And if Apple goes up or any stock goes up, let's say 10% a year, 20% a year, it's like you have your money grow, and you don't have to do anything else. I think that's why sometimes you see people who are older and then they're just like sitting pretty and they're enjoying their life. It's like, oh, well, so what do you have? And they're like, oh, I have a stock portfolio. Oh, really? It's like, yeah, some people they get dividends and they live off their dividends, or they just reinvest their dividends into more stock. And it's like, maybe they have, some people that have like a huge, portfolio. They might have a portfolio that's like 500,000 or $1 million or 1.5 million, 2 million. You guys get my drift. And then maybe they'll hold on to it. Maybe they won't cash out, but maybe they will cash out. They'll cash out to buy a home. They'll cash out for, nursing care home expenses. I have heard about people where they bought stock early on, like Coca-Cola stock. And I read this on Reddit. There was a couple who bought Coca-Cola stock back in the day. And then they had to go into a nursing care home. The family, of course, could not afford nursing care home costs, but the stock was able to pay for it. Yeah, so they sold some stock progressively, right? So let's say you have like $1 million portfolio. Your nursing care home is like $10,000 a month. So they started selling some stock, and yeah, they used the portfolio to pay off the nursing care um, cost, and yeah, that worked out really well for them. And that's what I think the benefit of us having a stock portfolio is, because it's not just amassing it for the sake of amassing it, but in the case that you have an emergency, in case you actually want to cash out and buy a home, you can use your portfolio that's been working for you while you sleep, while you enjoy your life or while you're working hard. And yeah, there's been times where I wake up and I open my portfolio and I think, shit, it's like you see sometimes like the gains that you can have, and it's like, wow, geez, I didn't do anything. I just woke up and wow, there's like my portfolio went up, and it's a great feeling. There's some people out there where they have such big portfolios. They're still working, but they know they can quit at any time because they have a good stock portfolio. You see? And it also provides a different mindset. Like, let's say you're working at a job, you make 30,000. Let's say you make $30,000 a year, but you have a portfolio, and your portfolio has like 500,000 or $600,000. Do you think you're really gonna get stressed out too much if you lose your job tomorrow? Right? Not really, because you have your portfolio to fall back on, and that's the freedom. That's why I say I get all preachy about this stuff, because I see people and they have such great jobs sometimes, and they just squander their jobs just to buy stuff, and then at the end of the month or at the end of the year, they don't have much to show for it, to build upon their future. So yeah, this is so much more longer than I expected, and I gotta wake up early because I gotta meet someone to give them stuff. They wanted me to like give them stuff at 8:30, and I was like, oh fuck. So I can't believe I just cursed. I'm trying to stop cursing. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening to me. And Oreo and I will get going to sleep. Lewis is still up. And I hope my streams, I hope my chats just encourage you guys to just move forward and don't make the same kind of regrets that I had. And Johnny, I really hope you cut your carbs. Look up, eat more salad, okay? Organic salad greens, buy the pre-washed stuff so you don't have to wash it, the stuff in the tub. And then buy some like cherry tomatoes or slice some cucumbers, have it kind of like the stuff pre-made, and then you can just assemble it in like 2 minutes or so. And I hope you're able to, lose weight, and I hope that you feel, healthier as time goes on. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later, and yeah, see ya.